and welcome to the first ever edition of Podsters of the Midway, a very unserious Chicago Bears fan podcast. I'm your host, Andy P. With me is possibly Jakey V. He is unsure of the name that he wants to come up with, but we said that we could give this episode, give it this episode and then maybe come up with a new one. So, Jake, how you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. I do have identity issues. I'm trying to come up with a name, listeners, that don't exist. Yes, I do have identity issues. I'm coming up with a name, maybe not. I'm pretty lazy by nature, so I'll probably just end up sticking with Jakey V because that's me.
Hey man, whatever works. It rhymes with my name. It rhymes with your name. It's all we rhyme together, I guess. So that's kind of what you need from
chemistry.
podcast hosts.
We have chemistry. Yeah, we had a scandalous intro. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We're here to talk about, of course, our favorite NFL football team, the Chicago Bears. We're two Illinois natives. I'm currently in Chicago. Jake, ever since college, we're about 2 years apart in age, and we went to college together. He has since moved to Tampa, Florida. So, we're a long ways apart, but we figured we'd give it. We'd come together maybe once every week and talk about the Bears and therapize about the Bears because we're both insane Bears fans. And I feel like before we get into kind of what we have on the agenda today, Jake, I think we should start off with why in the fuck are we Bears fans? Why have we done this to ourselves? So if you want to go off first, go ahead.
Okay, so I guess my story with the Bears starts probably around the same time that Lovey came to the Bears in about like 04, 05. I don't have an exact moment of pinpointing like what season I started paying attention to football. But it was probably, I would say, about 05, because I remember being a football fan and liking the Bears before their Super Bowl. And I remember that season with Devin Hester and all that bullshit and the inevitable defeat. And I remember sitting at my coffee table sad, knowing that we'd lost and not knowing how hard it would be to get back to a Super Bowl. So I kind of remember that. That's really my story with the Bears. My dad liked the Bears because his parents grew up as Packers fans, and he hated them and still does to this day. So that's really why we're Bears fans, because he was feuding with his own family.
Yeah, dude, that's always a good way to like go about life, is just to make all your decisions to go against your own family, I guess. That's
yeah,
I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, Walter Payton running through Green Bay Packers defenders was catharsis for him. So I guess that's why now I have this trauma. He passed it.
Yeah, dude, that's why we've done this. You've done this to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I do remember that like my first Bears season that I remember was that Super Bowl team. The Devin Hester kickoff was like, at that point, like probably one of that and like the White Sox winning the World Series in 2005 were the earliest sports memories I ever had. And I was just talking about this with my uncle, where my uncle's a big Cubs fan, and we're talking about the Bears, but he was trying to switch me from a White Sox fan to be a Cubs fan. And I told him, like, when you see the White Sox win the World Series at 5 years old, you're never going to switch. And it's kind of the same thing with the Bears, where I could never go to another football team, even if I moved. Like if I moved to LA, or if I moved to Minnesota or New England or New York, wherever there's a franchise, and especially a franchise that has a big following and has been around for a while, I could never switch. Like my heart is with the Bears, my soul is with the Bears, my pain is with the Bears.
Yeah.
My family we're all Bears fans. My uncle is a Bears season ticket holder. My dad, this is so funny. I realized this the other day. My dad's birthday is January 27th. So his birthday was the day after the Bears won the Super Bowl in 85, and also the day that the Challenger blew up.
Really?
So,
oh yeah, it's crazy.
It was So okay. it was like that weird dichotomy of like being so happy that your favorite team won the Super Bowl, but then also being like, oh my God, this American tragedy just happened on my birthday. And then the Bears didn't go to the White House because of that for
Yeah.
25
It didn't
years.
go until Obama was president.
Yeah, until Obama was already, I think, 3 years into his first.
Yeah, it was like
It was
2011.
like 2011.
Or something.
Yeah, so yeah, man. So it's just been, it's hard when stuff like that happens at such a young age to
but
ever think about,
you need to know
switching.
Deep dark secret about me. So you mentioned
Sure.
your father's birthday was
Uh-huh.
the day after the Bears won the Super Bowl. It turns out my birthday is actually the day the Green Bay Packers were founded. So that is a little bit of deep dark self-hatred that I carry with me to this day. It is a
Oh my God,
disgust that
dude.
I harbor and I don't reveal often. But yes,
I thought you were gonna say
true.
I thought you were gonna
Horrible. It's a horrible fact.
say your birthday was shot.
No.
Yeah, I
No, but worse. It's a worse thing
Yeah.
that I revealed.
No,
honestly.
but
JFK being shot is a far better thing.
than the
Being
Packers,
born on the day of the Packers founding. Are you kidding me?
dude.
It's grotesque.
How mad would you be? And I'm just spitballing here. How mad would you be if on your birthday you wake up and you find a envelope addressed from me and you open it up and it's Packers stock?
That would really, I don't like that. My dad was talking to his dad recently about how his dad had bought Packers stock, and then my dad just lambasted him for buying it and like being an idiot. Like, why would you? Well, who's buying this? Even Aaron Rodgers himself said, like, it's for idiots. Like, it doesn't mean anything. That's your God. Why are you buying this? It doesn't make any sense. It's
how
just
much is it?
I mean, I guess it's a souvenir, but I thought it was like $300 or some shit.
That's what I thought too. I think you and I looked this up when we were going to school together.
It's not even like it was
How
like,
much?
oh, it's $20. Okay, fine.
No.
That's cool. But it's $300. It's a PlayStation.
Yep, it's $300. Yep, that is a PlayStation price.
It's crazy. No.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
I'll play
you
Madden.
don't even you don't get tickets for that. You don't get anything.
No, I think you do get maybe a discount on merch. It's hilarious. They funnel you like cattle into buying more bullshit.
Mm.
Here, buy our stock. It'll give you a 5% discount at the team store. You fucking cheesehead piece of shit.
Dude, I just found a quote.
Aaron Rodgers footy pajamas. You fat cow.
This is a real quote from November.
No,
it's
hard.
It's fair, dude. They own us, as
they do.
Aaron
They
Rodgers
do own
said.
us so bad. I'm
I did find this quote. I did find this quote from November of 21 that says, and this is the team saying this, quote, anyone considering the purchase of Packers stock should not purchase the stock to make a profit or to receive a dividend or tax deduction or any other economic benefits, end quote. So it's a plate of fucking nothing.
Yes, not a lot of ROI on that investment.
It is the stock equivalent of Nathan Fielder opening up that tray and saying, "Here is nothing." It is the stock equivalent of that. So, yeah, just I don't care. Packers, they're the rivals of the Bears. They've kicked our ass for years, but
yeah, you want to talk about the
worthless franchise
Packers Family Fest debacle? There's currently a feud that's going on about the size of the Packers Family Fest and the size of the Bears Family Fest and the number of attendees, and also like the telecast
that was just
of the Packers, because apparently the Packers Family Fest, like they were it was all commercials, just as far as the TV stream. They weren't actually showing any of like the throws or anything. And then I guess the Packers retaliation, their fans, was just to criticize the number of attendees at our rainy Family Fest.
Well, here's the thing. I think it was Herb Lawrence, who I believe works for CHGO, which is a new Chicago-related sports website. I think he pointed out that, there's less people at the Bears practice, but it's also Lollapalooza weekend. There is a Cubs game in town. There's tons of neighborhood festivals. There's lots of museums. It's rainy. There's lots of things to do in Chicago. All you have in Green Bay
a limited amount of tickets, I think, to the Bears
Well, I believe
event.
it's
I don't think they sell out the full stadium.
no, and I think it might just be season ticket holders too,
I
which
don't
is
think it's the event like Green Bay, where it's like Green Bay. It's a big event where everyone comes out to see it. Like with the Bears, it's not. It hasn't been that same way. I've never seen it that
no,
like pack the
no,
stands or sell a million seats.
no,
I don't know why
and
they
Green
weren't bringing
Bay,
that up in the past. Why does
yeah.
it
Well,
matter
it's also
now?
like
I don't like.
it's
Who
insane.
cares?
It's insane to compare Green Bay to Chicago. I think it's because Green Bay is clearly going to be terrible this year, and that's all they have to like cling on to.
It's
You
like all
know,
we have to fall
is
back on is a center of global relevance and commerce. They
yeah.
have
All we have to
hacky
we live in
sack
the
and
yeah.
what do you do in Green Bay when the Packers aren't playing?
Yeah, all we have is the greatest city in the world, and they have a couple bars, you know.
Yeah, I mean
So,
they can outdrink us. I will say, Green Bay, holy
well,
fucking shit! The state of Wisconsin, they can put it away like no one I've ever seen before. It's wild. It's so crazy how
well,
much they
dude,
can drink.
it's that Wisconsin girth.
Oh, it is. They're yeah. I mean, you think Chicago people are fat? Take a trip across the border. Wow, you'll see some heifers grazing out there in
Yeah,
Wisconsin. In
yeah,
Wisconsin.
they're not growing those on trees.
No, no, they're
Those are
flatlanders.
yeah, those
They
are
don't
bred
like
from birth.
elevation. No,
No, they don't like moving.
that's a good pun. Moving,
Moving.
move.
All right. Well, I think that's enough Packers hate speech for right now. This is a Bears podcast, and obviously, week one we're playing the Packers, so hate
Yeah,
week is coming soon. But I think we should get into some. Well, basically, all of what we wanted to talk today was the off-season recap, and to start things off, we do have some major moves that were made over the weekend. Specifically, I want to start off with the Bears signing defensive end Yannick Ngakoue to a 1-year, $10.5 million deal, I believe on Friday that was.
yeah.
So,
I believe it was Friday as well,
yeah,
or
I
maybe
think it was when I
might
was
have
at
been Thursday
Lollapalooza.
late at night. I can't remember.
Mm, yeah, I can't remember.
Either way, it's very
It
late.
was, I was at Lollapalooza when I found out, and like, I was like in between sets, and I was honestly like, I can't believe I'm thinking about the Bears while I'm at like the biggest festival in the world and excited about like this is how big of a football nerd I am, is that I'm excited about this guy who's been on 6 different teams like the last 2 years,
Yeah,
and I'm waiting for Billie Eilish, and I'm like trying to like read up like his like Pro Football Focus, like
yeah.
and getting mad.
Today I was just going through his career stats, and he was with the Jaguars for I think like 5 or 6, like for a number. I think he was drafted in 2016, and he
Hmm.
was there for at least 4 years, 4 or 5 years, and then he's been on a crazy amount of teams in like the past 3 years.
Yeah.
He's been on like 5 teams.
Hmm.
It's
Well,
pretty
yeah,
nuts.
it
Like
goes
I don't know
from
why exactly he's been traded so much, but like he's been a
mhm.
pretty consistent player throughout his career.
Yeah.
He was great on that Saxonville defense. That's one of the best
Hmm.
defenses we've seen in the past decade. I mean, they went to the
Hmm.
NFC Championship game and they were close to going to the Super Bowl if it weren't for Tom Brady.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. I'm
I don't know
excited.
either.
We need a guy. Ultimately, we just
Hmm.
need someone that can kind of rush the passer and maybe get a double team every once in a while.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
Because
our line does not have a guy like that right now.
no. And I mean, he can maybe kind of be that. I don't really know what our expectations should be for the defensive line, though. I really don't. Like, how many sacks did they have last year? It was pitifully low. It was like
Yeah,
20,
it was.
I think. I think it was
Yeah,
20.
I don't
And I
think it
think the
was
Eagles had
higher.
72 or something like
Hmm.
that. So that's a
Hmm.
variation because the Bears, 84 Bears, they hold the record at like 74 or something like that.
Hmm.
So that's the variation of how 54 off
Hmm. Yeah,
what
yeah.
they've been capable of in the past.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
guess what's average? 30, 35? I don't even know. What's an average
Hmm.
team's defensive line production? Sack production.
Well, usually, hopefully, you have at least one rusher who gets somewhere close to double digits. A good year typically, at least for when in the eyes of casual football fans, is 10 sacks. So
Yeah.
you usually have hope to have one guy like that,
Unique has had over 8. I think
and
it's either
then
8 or 8.5 every year of his career. Which is
hmm
pretty good, but
hmm
he's not he's not a truly elite edge.
nah,
He's not one of
nah,
those guys. He's a proficient,
hmm
productive player, which we need. We
hmm
just need if our defense can get to mediocre, I think our offense can kind of carry us, which is kind of an
hmm
insane thing to say. I don't
yeah.
know if that's reasonable to believe, but that's kind of where I feel we are right now.
Well, as a Bears fan, you learn to never trust your offense.
Yeah, no,
But last year the offense was by far the most fun part of the team and the most consistent. I saw that they lost, I believe, 7 games by 1 score.
they
And
did.
a lot of those games they were scoring close to 30, if not over 30. Like that Dolphins game, they definitely scored over 30, but they lost by a score because the defense was piss poor. But that's also because we traded Roquan and Robert Quinn and basically like our entire defense outside of
Yeah.
Eddie Jackson and Jalen Johnson. So we had no defense last year. And so this year, definitely we should hopefully, especially with Flus running the show as a defensive minded guy. And I thought the defense, even though they did allow a lot of points, I always thought that they were competitive. And I think with more talent, you should see an improvement. And I think getting somebody like Yannick Ngakoue, who I wanted them to sign, and I was talking with my uncle about this, and I think I told you about this a little bit in our conversations over text, where he was adamant about getting Justin Houston because he thought that the Bears needed like a veteran presence. And I was like, well, I kind of like Ngakoue. He's younger. He's been a little bit.
It's not like he's not a veteran. He's been in the league
Well,
longer
yeah.
than Eddie Jackson has.
Yeah.
Eddie Jackson's 30 years old. Like he's not.
Their issue is more with just that he's been on a lot of teams the last few years, and they were like they want this veteran presence, and I was like, well, so is Justin Houston, but Justin Houston doesn't really give you much production anymore, and I think I would rather take the guy with production over, just like Justin Houston was great, but at this point, I think he's just a name.
Yeah, Bears fans ultimately, we've been so conditioned to just want names. We are not content with anything that's productive. We want just a guy, a name, a splash move. That's what we've been conditioned to like. And I mean, splash moves are fun. They're good. They can work out for us. They can also flop spectacularly. I have no real insight over whether Yannick or I don't even know if his name is Yannick or Unique. I don't even know the correct way to pronounce the guy's name, for fuck's sake. I don't know if he's better than Justin Houston or not. We just need productive players on our defensive line. Really, I don't care who. That's where I am. It's like, just get someone that's big and that can run at the quarterback and not be faked out by everything. I don't know. I trust the Bears. I think that's just where I am. I kind of trust the Bears management for possibly the first time in my life, and I'm comfortable with whatever they decide. So I'm not going to get myself worked up as to what guy they need to get. I don't care.
Yeah.
Get the guys. I trust them.
I think Poles. Yeah, I think Poles has done a very nice job and made a lot of very smart moves. If they might not have been super splashy, but I think that's kind of the pit that like other Bears regimes have fallen into of just going for splash and not trying to build up the rest of the roster. I like the names too, but I just think about, and I think the Khalil Mack trade was overall okay, but it did leave.
The Khalil Mack trade was great for the Bears in that they were able to sell a shit ton of Khalil Mack jerseys and make a lot of money.
Tickets.
So it was a win for the Bears. It was a business win. It didn't, result in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it left the cupboard dry too of first round picks. Yeah, and that was kind of the issue.
that was kind of the definitive Bears trade, the Khalil Mack one, where it's like, okay,
Mhm.
it's this elite defensive player. You're going to give up everything for it. It's going to leave the
Mhm.
cupboard bare. You're going to pay him way too much, so you can't actually build a team around him. He's going to get hurt. And everything's just going to fall apart. Your offense is going to be the same disaster it's been forever. The Khalil Mack trade was just Bears at their Bearsiest, really. But I do miss the guy still. I still do miss him. He was fun to root for. I really liked him.
That first, I mean, we're talking about the Packers again, but that first game against the Packers was incredible.
Oh my God. I couldn't process what was happening. I was on cloud 9 until I wasn't, and then that was one of the most devastating, soul-crushing defeats of all time.
Yeah, when
it's so crazy how we still have this like romantic idea of that game where we still fucking lost in devastating fashion.
yeah,
It's like,
Southern Aaron Rodgers.
So good for that half before Aaron Rodgers came out on Percocet and kicked our ass. Like
that was when he came back and he came back and he started doing the Southern Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he's doing it now
accent.
again. As the Jets quarterback, he sounds Southern all the time. I don't know why.
I think he just likes to be a dick.
Is that what he said? He was like, my leg. What hurt, Aaron? My leg.
Was that during the Bears game?
That was during the interview after the game when he was high on Percocet. He's like, what you hurt, Aaron? My leg.
Dude, he's so weird. I don't know. This has been covered well by other people, but he's just such a fucking weirdo.
He's an odd bird. I would love to do psychedelics with him, though, and work out some trauma. I think I need that. Aaron, hit me.
What was the one that he was doing?
I don't
for
know.
A while?
It was ayahuasca, I think, in a hut somewhere in Portland.
Yeah. I think that's the one.
I believe that's what he was doing.
Yeah. What an interesting fella. But all right, so I think that's enough on the defensive end that the Bears added. They also added Mercedes Lewis over the weekend. Do you have any thoughts on that at all?
I know that Packers fans affectionately called him Big Dog. I think his measurements are about like 6'6", 265 pounds, and he can block his ass off. And then about 5 times a year he'll rumble out into the flat, catch a pass, and then infuriatingly take it about 10 yards. So it's pretty good. It should help our run game a lot. I think he should be a good leader in the tight end room. I know he has a great relationship with Bobby Tunyon, so that should make things a little more comfortable for Bobby. He's got a buddy now. I know Luke Getsy loves him. I watched Mercedes' interview, and he said that he'd been talking to Luke Getsy for like a number of weeks before actually signing with the team. So this has apparently been, coming down the pipeline for a while now. I don't know. I think it's kind of one of those underrated signings that'll do a lot for our offense. Like, he could be a real vocal leader that they need. He's 39 years old. He's old as shit. He's older than Ryan Poles, our GM. And he's still out there playing.
Yeah. Well, that was the same thing with...
the Bears went to the Super Bowl. Insane.
Yeah.
Same class as Devin Hester. Devin Hester should be in the Hall of Fame. This guy's still playing. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, man.
Still collecting checks.
Yeah, keep making that money. Jason Peters. I almost forgot his name. Jason Peters was like...
Is he still playing? Also, he was last year.
Yeah, he signed with somebody else, but he was 39 when he played with us.
Yeah, he was 40
and
last
year in
Dallas.
He was fishing. The guy was fishing.
He was in a fishing boat. When he got the call.
He's a free.
From fucking Pace.
Yeah, but he was still like our best lineman that year.
He was.
After he played himself into shape.
Oh, he was a tank. I mean, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. It's just he's old as shit at the time. Still played admirably. Respect to Jason Peters.
Yeah, I miss having a guy like that. But all right, that's I think all we need to really speak on for Mercedes Lewis. Let's go far further back into the off season. I think you and I were together with for this actually for when
Mhm.
all of these trades and signings started
Free
happening
agency at
for
Disney
when
World.
free agency
Whoop,
started. Yeah,
whoop.
we were at we were
In the
at
line at fucking some Star Wars
Star
ride.
Wars. And I think that's did the first overall pick trade happen that day? Because I know all the other signings happened.
I believe the first overall pick trade had already happened.
Okay, because I know the Tremaine Edmonds and like all the
I don't
signings
know.
happened that day.
When was that?
Yeah, because we were that was like mid-March.
Because the
That
DJ Moore trade actually happened on the day my grandpa died.
oh no,
That's a fun one. That was a weird rush of emotions. It was like
yeah.
an hour before I got the news he died. It was like, oh, DJ Moore, and Grandpa's dead. Process this. Yeah. Woo.
Okay, so that was March 10th.
March 10th. Okay.
Yep.
And
And then
free
we
agency was before the
March
draft.
15th. It looks like March 15th, I think,
15. Okay. Yeah.
was when
Because it was all around the same time. It's like,
yeah.
yeah.
Because you and I were at Disney, and we were also doing Aaron Rodgers watch because that's when it was pretty much confirmed that he was going to the Jets at that point, and we were like in that one bar, and you were tired, but like, and I was like drinking. We were waiting for something, and like that's kind of all we were talking about that day. You were just super excited that Aaron Rodgers was getting traded. Like you were just like that's what got you through like the entire day at Disney, I think.
Yeah, I really did. That was the one thing that was fueling me was my daddy leaving me. Please go away, daddy. I've had enough. Stop spanking me. I've been a good boy.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
lost
done.
as you've told me to. Please go to New York.
I'm 22 years old. Please stop spanking me.
Yeah. No, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time coming. But just kind of give further context over the Bears' major offseason moves. We're going to start with the offense. We were talking about the trade already, but so the Bears at the end of the season lost their final couple games. The Texans won their last game, so the Bears got the number 1 overall pick, which they then traded for number 9
talk about that
and
game?
yes,
that
we can.
fucking
If you
game
want,
was
yeah,
pandemonium, and we have to acknowledge our goat.
yep, yes, Lovey.
Yes, I have a signed Lovey helmet that I do pray to at night before I go to bed. And and when I wake up first thing in the morning before I go to work, I do my morning hymns to Lovey Smith and thanking him for all he's given to me.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was truly one of the most insane games of football that has ever happened. And I think there should, one day, if these Bears end up actually doing something, if they can actually win a fucking Super Bowl someday, God willing, there's going to be a documentary about that fucking game and everything that happened that allowed us to get DJ Moore and all that compensation. Because
oh my God,
holy fuck, the Texans owner was standing on the sideline, just bewildered by what had happened. He was furious.
Well, dude, that was the only memory I ever have of like a team actively going against like the front office, like and clearly going against the front office, and be like, "Fuck you! You're not getting the first overall pick. We're fucking winning this shit."
Yeah, it was a Hail Mary on like what 4th and 20.
Yeah,
And went for 2, walk off. Fuck you,
dude.
Well, actually, it wasn't a walk off. They had to get a stop on defense.
Well, yeah, but I think
shit.
basically the Colts just were like, "We'll lose this game because it helps us."
Because that was the Jeff Saturday Colts. It was oh my gosh, that was so insane.
No, the Frank Reich Colts, you mean?
Well, Frank Reich was gone. He'd been fired.
Well, okay.
It was Jeff Saturday who won his game against the Raiders and Josh McDaniels after tweeting, "The Raiders suck." Beats them next week. Legend. Internet legend.
So funny.
All time. Internet Hall of Famer Jeff Saturday. I don't care that you didn't win another game. The fact that you beat the Raiders after trolling them online is the greatest internet feat of all time.
Dude, I memory hold that game. Or the fact that he was the head coach so hard.
That was amazing. It was so insane.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, that was my uncle. My uncle he's a season ticket holder, like I said earlier. He was at the last Bears game of the season, which they handily lost. I think they started Nathan Peterman and went
Yeah,
back and forth
they
between him
benched
and
Nathan Peterman because he was
Simeon.
performing too well against that
Yeah.
horrific Vikings
So
defense.
was it
They
even?
put in Tim Boyle to go through 2 arm
Yeah,
pumps.
I was like, was it even Trevor Simeon that went in? Because it was. I don't.
No,
It wasn't.
Simeon played against the Jets, and then he
He got
injured
hurt.
himself pre-game, played through the injury, and then had to get season-ending surgery after that fucking game. Just
So
hilarious.
funny. That's a
Oh my
Bears
God,
thing.
so Bears. I'm so
Yeah,
happy that Nathan Peterman has started a game for the Bears, though. Like, that's
dude, it's so funny.
perfect. So perfect that happened.
Yeah,
Because the Bears are, like,
we.
it's the ultimate franchise of dog shit quarterbacks, and he's the ultimate dog shit quarterback. So it was
Dude,
a marriage that needed to happen.
dude, yeah. I don't. I hope it never happens again. But I was very happy last season to see him start a game.
Oh my God, I
Like,
was thrilled.
I hope we
was
never
euphoric.
again. I hope we never ever have to start him again.
Oh,
But like,
no, God, no. God, no.
openly gunning for the first overall pick, I was like, yes, please don't get Fields hurt.
fucking Peterman. This
and
is
just-
Peterman's time.
Yes. Oh my God. So yeah, my uncle was at the game and they were like all the season. The game. The Bears game had ended, and I think the Colts Texans game was still going on. And he sent me a video of when Davis Mills threw that game-winning touchdown pass, and the whole crowd going crazy, like we had just won the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was
we got
insane.
the first overall
I do
pick.
remember that. Celebrating the first overall pick like we did win the fucking Super Bowl. And then everyone else was trying to dunk on us on Twitter. We're like, we don't fucking care. We got the pick. Because that's how much of losers that we are, is that we're totally comfortable and accepting of being losers. We're the best losers. No one can out-lose us.
Oh, dude. Yeah, we're the best at that. Well, and you also have like Cubs fans who are like, who are Bears fans who are like used to that. So and I'm a White Sox fan, so I'm used to sucking too. So it's just like I can pull from all this different shit.
All the teams generally suck. It still occasionally have a run, but for the most part, all of Chicago's teams kind of fucking suck. It's pretty sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's pretty devastating.
But, yeah, it sucks, but I think we're gonna start turning things around the next couple of years, especially because with this first overall pick that we earned through our terribleness last season, the Bears were able to turn that into the number 9th overall pick as well as a second rounder in 2023, the Panthers' first round pick next year, and a 2025 second round pick, as well as DJ Moore, as of course the Panthers get the number 1 pick and they draft Bryce Young. So I think that we easily will end up winning this trade, just because I think anytime you can get not only a blue chip prospect in DJ Moore, but also all of these picks, I think just anytime you can do that, like that's better than having, especially with this year's quarterback class. I don't think any of the quarterbacks this year are particularly inspiring at all. And so even if there was a question of moving off of Justin Fields, which there was, I don't think this year's quarterback class was worth it. So I think in the long run, I mean, in the short term, obviously, we think we're going to win this just because DJ Moore rocks. But I think in the long run, too, with whoever we can pick with these picks, I think we might get the number 1 overall pick again next year.
I don't
but
know
it's going to be the
Panthers are
Panthers
going to
pick.
be that bad. That division is rough, man.
It is.
I live in Tampa. I get some coverage of these Buccaneers. It's dark. It's bad. I mean, they've got some studs at receiver. Their defense is pretty good. But Baker and Trask are just soul-sucking quarterbacks of Bears variety. I mean, they feel like the Bears, the Bucs right now. Is they've got a team, they've got a great defense, they've got Todd Bowles, who has no fucking idea what he's doing. He thinks he's a defensive coordinator. You're not, Todd. You're a head coach. Please figure it out. I'm tired of watching this team. Baker has, I don't know if he has anything left at all. And Kyle Trask he sat behind Tom Brady and is in a quarterback competition with Baker Mayfield. So that can tell you everything you need to know about Kyle Trask. Not good.
He technically actually sat behind Blaine Gabbert.
He did. He was third string. He wasn't even good enough to unseat Blaine Gabbert. That's how bad Kyle Trask was.
Not
good.
So, Yeah, you're going to that. You're going to that week 2 game, right?
I fucking wanted to so bad, but I'm literally gonna be across the goddamn world in New Zealand at a wedding.
No, is that when you have
Yes,
to go to your friend's
that is
wedding?
literally the
No,
one game I want to go to is the fucking weekend when I'm going to be across the goddamn world.
damn, bro, that sucks. I was really hoping that it would. I was like, maybe we can have like a trip report or something,
Oh my
like
god, I know.
which we can still do with your friend's wedding, but just it's not gonna be
It's
not
gonna
gonna be
be
the same.
bullshit. I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna literally for the Bears Packers game. I'm gonna have to get up at like 7 a.m. to watch the fucking
Dude.
game on a Monday.
Wait, so are you flying there for like?
Yeah,
Are you gonna be there for both games?
yeah. I'm gonna be there for week 1 and week 2.
Bro,
Pretty crazy.
that
Yeah,
sucks.
it does. I know.
Yeah, what time is in? Let me look up what time New Zealand
I think it's
is right now.
like 17 or 18 hours ahead of Eastern.
10, yeah, it's 107 on Monday, August 7th. So about
No, midday
yeah, dude.
on
Yeah,
Monday.
yeah, that's
9
crazy,
o'clock
dude.
where I am right now.
Man, all right, well, yeah. So overall, what do you think of this kind of move? Are you happy they got the receiver? Do you wish they would have gotten more picks?
Oh no, I'm thrilled that we got DJ Moore. We needed a proven receiver that can contribute now. You know, there's no
Mhm.
receiver in this draft class that's going to be DJ Moore right now. Maybe one of these guys ends
No.
up being amazing at some point, but it's going to take a little bit of time, just like any other player. DJ's a stud. He's making plays for us already. As for this quarterback class, if you want to talk about the other guys, yeah, I didn't think any of them were more compelling than Justin Fields at all. Anthony Richardson will be fun. So it'll be fun to see him compared next to Justin Fields in a couple weeks when they're at training camp together. That'll be an interesting comparison to see them together. But yeah, I don't think any of them have a higher ceiling than Justin Fields. What he was able to accomplish last year with, basically his own team trying to murder him with an op as his center, a literal op, Sam Mustipher, literal op
Psyop.
against the Chicago Bears trying to get him murdered. He was able to put together an incredible, on the ground season. And honestly, I know the passing numbers are shitty. I thought he had more impressive throws in that one season as Bears quarterback than I've seen all Bears quarterbacks really throw combined. Yeah, Jay Cutler had some nice bombs, but Justin Fields he threw some really beautiful passes last year. Yeah, he had some stinkers. We're gonna be fine. I like Fieldsy.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, I love Fields. I think he does need to improve, but I don't think he's as bad as a passer as people say he is. I mean, his college tape just shows how gifted he is passing, and then you watch his NFL tape, and he's got the last 2 seasons he's got 0 time to throw because the line is that terrible.
And I mean, the skill positions have been hideous. I mean,
Or shit.
Cole Kmet was his best receiver last year, and I mean, I like Cole Kmet, but come on,
yeah, we just signed him an extension.
He should not be your primary receiver. He's a great piece to have, but you don't want him to be your number one receiving threat, and that's what he was. Equanimous St. Brown. Oh my God, how many passes did he fucking drop? How many just gruesome routes did that man run? I'm still haunted by the one that Jair ran for him when Justin was playing amazingly against the Packers. Was in such a rhythm, and he gets picked off because EQ cannot run a fucking route to save his life. Oh my God.
The one that they tried to like blame that one on Justin, and then somebody I think maybe Brett Coleman or somebody did like they were like
Jair
no like the guy
EQ.
Yeah.
Jair was literally, I saw that dog shit route. He was making fun of EQ for how bad that route was when he picked him off.
Yeah. I like St. Brown, but it's just like, man,
stick to blocking.
Like, yeah, I'm glad that like the receiving corps now is just with so much more it's so much deeper that we also added obviously Chase Claypool last season, who was hurt for most of it, but I think he'll bounce back and be good. I'm pretty high in Chase Claypool, and so just adding DJ Moore and getting Claypool back just makes our receiving depth that much more greater. And then also too, Kmet and Fields came into a really nice sort of rhythm late last season where, I think it was like 2 years since Kmet had a touchdown. Then all of a sudden he went off for like
7.
He had like 2. Yeah, he had 7. He had like two in multiple. He caught 2 touchdowns in multiple games.
Game, I think. Like he had multiple games with multiple touchdowns. It was
and I think that end of the season is what led to them going ahead and giving him that $32 million guaranteed extension.
Yeah, and he's also a phenomenal blocker and like a good leader on the team. He's a young guy.
I'm very.
Yeah. I think it'll be a good signing. It was a good value. I think he's rated as like the 10th or 11th highest paid tight end. Like that's good value for the Bears. Like he'll perform at that level or better. He hasn't been injured. He's been a consistent player. His hands have improved throughout his career. I mean, that one catch he had in Atlanta was one of the best catches I've seen a Bears player making, maybe ever. Like it was insane watching him get smacked while catching the pass one-handed. Unbelievable. Like, I think he grew up a Bears fan. I don't think he's going to quit on us.
No,
we're going to be fine. It's a good sign.
Yeah, I do remember how much you and I did hate him the first couple of years, but I think
first year I did have a vendetta against Cole Kmet, so I've gotta apologize for that. He did beat the ever-loving shit out of my high school my senior year, which was kind of wild. So I guess a little bit of beef.
That was your senior year?
Oh, we're the same class, yeah. He's the same age as me.
I couldn't remember if he was older.
I'm the same age as Fields as well. We're all 99 babies, I guess.
Yeah, dude, I had this conversation with my uncle at the
same age as all these players now. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I had that conversation with my uncle last Wednesday when I was at the practice, where somebody on the team is like younger, just barely younger than me.
You're both 2000.
Jack
Sanborn's the first Bear to be born in 2000 or later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's who it was. Where I was like, that's fucking weird. I was like, these guys are going to start to be younger than me, and I hate that.
Yeah,
because I'm 22.
Wright was born in 01.
Yep. Okay, Wright, so he's younger than me.
Yeah, he's younger than you.
Motherfucker, crazy. Dude, I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate that shit.
That's what we're gonna blame. All right, so 35 and all these players are gonna be children to us. Fucked.
Yeah, and then all of our heroes will, be retired or, on the painkiller kind of treatment that McMahon's on.
Oh God. That poor guy.
Yeah.
He's got fucking shades on nonstop.
I hope he's well. My uncle was telling me that I talk about my uncle a lot because he's a big Bears fan. He tells me all these facts, but he was in the league for so long that he does get like a very good
it's like a
retirement pension. Yeah. From the league. He's like one of the few guys that actually gets good pension because he was in the league. He was in the league for way longer than you would really expect from him.
He won as many Super Bowls as Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers combined.
Yep.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah,
that's a weird fact.
Yep. But he was in the league for 15 years, man. Yeah. It's cool though, but all right, Jimmy, so I think we're pretty
He's a multi-time. Didn't he win like 2 or 3 Super Bowls?
Garoppolo?
Yeah, Jimmy G with just being Tom Brady's bench warmer.
I believe so. Yeah, because he was. I think his last year on the Patriots was the Falcons Super Bowl, so I think he ended up winning 2.
That's fucking crazy.
Yep, he's a 2-time Super Bowl champ. Okay.
Backup quarterback has as many Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre combined. That's fucked up.
Yeah, dude.
That's really fucked up. That's how good Tom Brady is. Holy fuck.
They fucked up their quarterback goodwill for 30 years.
Yeah,
so
they really squandered that.
Now they get Jordan Love. So
please,
welcome. Trying to make Jordan Love a thing is going to be so funny. It's going to be so awesome to watch.
Like me. Like I'm not encouraged by his physique. Like he looks like me out there.
I don't like.
No, and then you look at Justin Fields, who's a fucking
He's chiseled.
specimen.
He looks like a god.
Yes.
No. I just don't see it. He doesn't exude confidence, Jordan Love. Like he
No.
very much feels like Mitch Trubisky to me. But I just don't want to say it because I've been burned by that team so many fucking times. But I also feel like, well, Aaron Rodgers isn't there to save you anymore.
No.
Because he's always been the guy to come back and kill us. He's not there to save them anymore. Can they still murder us if they want to kill myself? I don't know.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers made up for a lot of their horrible roster deficiencies and
awful
and
defense.
depth. Like
they keep spending first round picks and they cannot field the defense that's top 10 to save their fucking lives. Oh my god.
That year after they won the Super Bowl, they went 15-1 because he was an MVP, but they literally had the worst defense of all time.
It was crazy, and their defense was good the year before. How those two shit in 1 year?
Dom Capers. Dom Capers was almost the fucking Patriots head coach instead of Belichick, and I think about that all the time. Where it's like, I'm glad we live in that universe where he didn't get the Patriots job.
I want to go to that.
And then
Peyton Manning's a 5-time Super Bowl champion. That's what happened.
No. Well, I'm saying I'm glad we do live in the universe where he became the Packers DC, which stopped Rodgers from winning the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. Or whatever. So
early in his career. Oh my god.
Yeah. All right, so just moving on to some other major offensive moves. Bears sign offensive guard Nate Davis. They sign QB PJ Walker, tight end Robert Tonyan, running back Deontay Foreman, and then they release Trevor Siemian and then David Montgomery. Yeah, R.I.P. And then David Montgomery, obviously a running back, he signs with the Lions. So piece of shit.
I know, I still love Demo, but come on, why are you doing me like that, bro? Come on.
Well, I think it's funny because he said something. I think he said something about like wanting to go to like a winning culture, and then or a culture that like respects you or whatever.
Most profound irony to ever be.
Well, and then they immediately go and they draft a running back in the first round.
Gibbs.
Or like an early round, like
literally 12th overall.
Like, what do you do? What did you do in Detroit?
I don't know. I mean, I think he'll be a good player for them. Like, I don't know. Detroit is a weird situation. It's because I respect them way more because I acknowledge that they have talent on their roster. But the same things that have nagged Detroit in the past, I don't think are fully gone. I don't think they've been washed away, really. I love Dan Campbell. He's extremely likable, but he has found a way to lose very winnable games many times.
Oh, yeah.
They should have been in the playoffs last year, and they weren't because they choked away games.
Oh, no.
They should have won. And
there was a lot of
change this year.
There was a lot of clawing up that they had to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Should we talk about the Vikings, I guess? If we want to do a division outlook as how the Bears stack in the division. We talked about everyone else. The Packers got about 2 seconds of, We just dismissed them, swatted like an elephant's tail, just swatted them away. Who gives a fuck?
I definitely want to do like a major division outlook, but if you have anything you want to say about the Vikings right now, if you want to make fun of them for anything, go ahead.
I mean, didn't they got rid of a ton of pieces on defense.
Yeah.
They still have Justin Jefferson. I think their offense will still be good. They got Kirk. They got Jordan Addison, who's a very good route runner. He's fast, small. But, they don't need him to be big. I think he'll be a good piece for them. But their defense, who knows? They were awful last year. They were so bad. Ed Donatel. 2018 Bears passing game coordinator, I believe, under Vic Fangio. He was an op, infiltrated Vikings, and destroyed their defense from the inside. So, salute to Ed Donatel. I praise you for all you've done. Go Bears.
Yeah. I I was telling you about this before. I think the Vikings are still going to be probably the top of the division this year. But so right now, like the only reason that I think they're going to do that, or that I'm like, I don't know, semi convinced that they're going to be on top of it, is just because I think that God loves Kirk Cousins so much
He does.
that he's fine. Like he's going to let him repeat the one score, victories they had, or the come from behind victories they had. I mean, I was telling you about this before we started recording about the quarterback moment where, he's he's going up to the table and he sees a half off,
Yeah.
book sale, and he goes, "Oh, it's my lucky day." Like God just fucking loves Kirk Cousins and will never will never let him do anything wrong. And so I think that's what we're going to repeat as NFC North champions.
God loves a frugal, humble guy, and that is exactly what Kirk Cousins does. But God doesn't need to necessarily make that frugal, humble guy a winner. And
No.
in Kirk Cousins, he's a good quarterback, but he's a fatally flawed quarterback. We all know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can he win the division again? It's possible. Oh yeah, I believe they could do it. I don't think they'll win the division as convincingly as they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think the division will be much closer this year.
Yeah.
I think these teams are going to fight on each other a lot, and there's going to be a lot of split between teams. I think that's probably
the only team that I feel in my gut is going to be bad is the Packers.
I mean, I kind of feel that they're going to be bad too, but I don't want to say it because I've been burnt.
I know. I didn't want to say that either because, God forbid, like one person finds this video, this podcast, and then they just turn it against me.
To the audience, do you think they're picking up that the Packers have hurt us many, many times, and we don't really give a fuck about the other two teams?
I mean, you really. Packers fans really can't hurt me more than the Bears have in my life. So
I still wake up and scream thinking about Chris Conte.
Dude, I was just about to bring that play up.
Oh my god! I remember just laying down in my bed after that.
Dude, I thought about. I ran upstairs after that touchdown, and I laid in my bed, and I thought about just turning on, putting my head in the pillow and just suffocating myself. I was 13. I was 13 years old.
Yeah. It was bad. It was a bad time.
Yeah, that was a rough time to be a Bears fan. That was the first Trestman year.
It was 14.
Yeah, 13, 14. Yeah.
Oh man.
So that was I think our offense was
good.
Average 30 points a game.
Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, fucking nutcase Brandon Marshall.
I think that was Matt Forte's last year with the Bears.
Yeah, I think that might have been because I think it was another Greg Olsen type move where they're like,
he doesn't fit. Langford, who fucking sucked. And then
we thought he was gonna be awesome.
Whom I love.
Yeah, I think it's funny that he had one more year on the Bears after he turned 30, but he went to the Jets right after.
Yeah, he did 2 years with the Jets.
He had a good first season, but I think he got hurt. He's only played 13 games. 14. I mean, he started 13, it looks like.
I think Matt Forte is one of the most underrated Bears of all time. I love him so much.
Dude, he had a season that he had 102 receptions.
I think he's 5th all time on the Bears receiving chart.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pathetic, but that's insane from a running back. Walter Payton.
Well, yeah.
Too. I think Walter Payton.
Dude, that year he had, let's see, I'm looking at the receiving, 102 receptions for 808 yards, along with 1,038 yards rushing on 266 attempts, and he had, looks like, if I'm looking at the 6 touchdowns rushing and 4 receiving. Yeah. So he was our entire offense that year.
Yeah, and fun fact, Matt Forte averaged more yards per game than Adrian Peterson, and he will never sniff the Hall of Fame ever. Ever give about him.
Nope.
It's
because he only has 9,000, almost 10,000 yards receiving. Yeah, rushing.
He has. I think he's top 30 all time on yards from scrimmage.
Yeah,
that's what he is. He's top 30 all time yards from scrimmage player.
He has almost 10,000 rushing and then almost 5,000 receiving.
He's 14,000 some 500.
14,000 yards. Yep.
Yeah. Yards from
468.
It's insane.
So, Yeah, one of my all-time favorite Bears that doesn't
Love
get
him.
enough love.
Love him so much. I have his autograph somewhere.
Yeah.
God knows where.
I miss him. I got Kiwani Dang's autograph the other day, so that's my claim to
Really?
fame.
That's fun.
Fucking practice squad player. He's huge, dude. He's 6'6".
Oh,
Like,
big
he
boy.
made me feel short.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a big
5
boy.
inches
And
on
then
you. Holy shit.
yeah,
That's a lot.
and then Andrew Billings, and I think one of our
Billings, I've
7th round
heard, is
picks.
massive.
He was walking around after practice over on the gravel without shoes on.
Dude, that's a hard dude. That's a hard dude right there. Wow.
So
I like
his feet are probably so big that he doesn't feel it, you know.
He's probably got like size 17 feet or something. Like insane.
Oh my god. All right. Let's get into the defense a little bit. We talked about the defense and how we think they're going to be improved, but let's go through a couple of the signings. The Bears signed, looks like TJ Edwards to a 3-year deal, Tremaine Edmonds to a 4-year deal. DeMarcus Walker was the other big defensive line signing. Andrew Billings, like I was talking about, Dylan Cole. A lot of the money was spent on the defense. Tremaine Edmonds got a $50 million guaranteed deal. So he got the bag this year. So how are you feeling about those moves?
I was definitely really amped up about the Tremaine Edmonds signing because we really wanted him back in 2018 when we ended up drafting Roquan. So it's like a cool full circle moment to have him here now. I think he'll be, he'll kind of give us shades of that Brian Urlacher kind of to Lovey era that we all miss. And I think TJ Edwards will be kind of a good, pseudo Lance Briggs as well. Nice hitter. Yeah. He's great. He wore the green dot for the Eagles last year. I think he had like 160 tackles or something absurd. Yeah, no. The linebackers, we're doing well. I think we have one of the best linebacker rooms in the NFL. We still have Jack Sanborn, who's good. Drafted Noah Sewell, who I think could be good as well. Matt Eberflus was a linebacker. That's kind of his specialty. I don't think he's drafting a linebacker if he doesn't like him, doesn't see something in him. I know Noah Sewell is one of the highest recruited players in his class coming into college. So we've got the athleticism. We'll see what can happen there. As for a defensive line, like I said earlier, I don't really know what to expect for them. I've heard good things about Andrew Billings. They're all kind of like low key signings, but maybe that works out. Last year it really didn't. A lot of those low key signings did not work. They might. I'm pretty comfortable with our secondary. Eddie Jackson. He had a really resurgent year. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Johnny B, I really like him a lot. I think he'll probably end up being the heartbeat of our defense for years to come.
Brisker's awesome.
Brisker's probably going to be our guy on defense.
He was like a top, not even just for rookies, but like a top ranked safety last year, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He was, we got him at like top 50. I think he was 48. And he was one of those guys that could have won the first round. Same with Kyler Gordon. They had first round grades on him as well. I've been hearing very good things about him out of camp. And I think he could be a great nickel. He's got good size and he's a good hitter, twitchy. So, I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about the defense, but I don't know how good they're really going to be. If they could be mid, that would just be an insane improvement, really. So.
Yeah, you just have to get a couple stops and a couple turnovers, and I think you're good.
What do you think about the defense? How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I feel like they're much improved, and I like the moves we made, and I also just think it's funny that like we gave Edmonds basically what Roquan wanted, but like Roquan, but we were just like whatever. Like
that was. I think some type of way about that. He was on Twitter in his field. Yeah, not happy.
I just don't think like maybe Roquan really got along with Poles, and I think that's why Poles was so ready. Well, yeah, obviously.
It's like that's not how you get paid, dude. That's not good.
Yeah,
I love.
that
was bad.
Yeah, I think it worked out for Roquan because he gets to be in
He'll go to
Baltimore on a
Baltimore. He can LARP as Ray Lewis.
yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, it's not like he got traded to like the Browns
Yeah,
or
he didn't get
some
sent
like this
off
poor
to
team.
fucking
You know,
the Chargers. That poor team.
yeah,
That's turmoil
yeah.
because
It has no
that
fans.
is a team that that they've drafted 3 Hall of Fame like caliber quarterbacks back to back to back and have won
Mhm.
nothing. Like we hate on the Packers for not winning shit. The Chargers
Yeah.
are just agony.
Well,
Oh
dude,
my
they don't even
God.
have fans.
They have no fans. I mean, it's not like the Rams have fans either. But like, why the
Mhm.
fuck did the Chargers leave San Diego? Because Spanos is just Spanos and had to fuck
Yeah.
San Diego.
Thanos. Yeah, dude, that's a whole. I have a friend from high school whose dad is Chicago everything except he's a Chargers fan. And I'm always like,
Why?
man, I get not being a Bears fan, but why did you pick another like
Torturous team.
tortured franchise? Like, yeah, dude, okay, great. You've had Philip Rivers and Justin Herbert and Dan Fouts, but what do you have to fucking show? You have
Nothing.
even less in the
Literally
past
nothing.
for their Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And the Colts too. At least the Colts won a Super Bowl and went to another one with Peyton Manning, and then Andrew Luck they killed them, but like
murdered.
like at least they won a Super Bowl within that. The Chargers moved and then had less fans when they moved, and they moved to the second biggest city in America, at least.
Yeah.
Right. So and they're second in the city to the Rams, who also have no fans. So
no one cares about them. They're in a
No.
city that does not give a shit about football, and they're the second football team in that city that doesn't care about football. That's a tough spot to be. You don't want to be there.
I'm so grateful that we only have one shitty Bears, shitty team to root for in Chicago. Like, I'm glad we don't have to because I already deal with it being a White Sox fan in the city. All where it's like, yeah, the Cubs and the Sox both fucking suck, and they have sucked for most of their existence, and yet I'm still arguing with Cubs fans about stuff. At least we can all come together and be like, yeah, the Bears have really ruined our lives. But imagine in a city that like just has a million other better things to do and like just does not give a fuck about that team. Like, imagine trying you and I living in LA and trying to like make the case for like the Chargers.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Justin Herbert, he's 6'6", he's got cool hair.
Yeah.
He can throw the ball like 90 yards. They're not going to win any games because he's in the same division as Patrick Mahomes. So,
I think honestly, I'd rather just like buy Packer stock and then just like put cyanide in like one of my in my water and just never wake up. Like, I'd rather do that. Like and be like try to make the case for the Chargers or the Rams.
Just drink the Packers branded cyanide. They have it at the store. There's a discount on it from their fucking stock. You bought their stock, you get a 5% discount on the Packers branded cyanide. If Jordan Love completes less than 60% of his passes, you have to take this.
Yes. Just every Packers fan sweating every week.
I mean, they couldn't handle a 58% completion percentage stat.
Oh, dude.
You wouldn't know what to do.
Man, when it was like when Rodgers was like 64, they were losing their fucking mind.
Melting down. Oh, he threw 12 interceptions and only 32 touchdowns. I'm gonna fucking kill someone.
He's done. He's done. Get rid of him. Ah.
Oh my God, those spoiled cunts.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
Good riddance. Good riddance to the Packers supremacy. But really, the just to go back to our moves for the Bears, the one that really sticks out to me is the DeMarcus Walker signing, because I remember, I don't remember the exact stat, but I remember like he I think he had more quarterback hits maybe per game and maybe like for the whole season than the entire Bears D line did last year.
I believe he had
like one person.
Yeah.
Yep. So
pretty nutty. And I think
pretty good.
He's only in the rotation for like 30-something% of snaps as well. So he's pretty productive in his time.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he was also a Tennessee guy. This is my meatball Bears take. But, I like the Vrabel guys. Their trenches.
Oh
Their
yeah,
trenches. I like their attitude and
dude.
mentality of the guys in the
Yeah,
trenches on a
yeah,
Vrabel team. So Nate Davis
yeah.
as well. I like those pickups.
I try not to put too much stock into like, oh, he's a football guy, oh, he's hard nosed, but like the Titans have been made of nothing but football guys the last few years,
Yeah, it's the
and they've
ultimate football
consistently,
guy team. They're the Titans.
yeah, and they've consistently competed. So like it works out for them. So if we're getting somebody from them,
Hey, they know
I
what
don't think it's not quite the same thing as like when Belichick would get rid of guys, where it's like, oh, they're probably damaged goods. Like these guys are still young, and like I don't think anything about like Vrabel's system thus far shows that like he gets rid of guys that are bad. I just think that like they want more money elsewhere. Like, and they got more money from the Bears had one of the biggest cap spaces in the league, and so I think they just signed with the Bears because they could get more money. But I still think they're solid.
I mean, yeah, we just got up past the cap spending floor for like the past 3 years. We just with the Mercedes Lewis signing, I think.
Yeah, very happy with that. But just to kind of wrap things up here before we get into like kind of more general Bears news, I want to get into our draft picks that the Bears had. So I'll just go through. I won't go through like where they were picked, but I'll just go through our players. So the 2023 Bears draft class was Darnell Wright, an offensive tackle, Gervin Dexter, defensive tackle, Tyreek Stevenson, a cornerback, Zach Pickens, a defensive tackle, Roshan Johnson, running back, Tyler Scott, wide receiver, Noah Sewell, linebacker, like you were talking about, Sewell, I think I said that wrong, Terrell Smith, cornerback, Travis Bell, defensive tackle, and Kendall Williamson, a safety. So already, Tyler Scott is getting a lot of buzz from Bears camp. I'm very excited for him. Like I think he's going to be the value pick of the draft.
Yeah,
for us.
I've heard he's been getting a lot of Johnny Knox comparisons.
Yeah,
and a lot of it's based on the number as well. They're both 13.
Yeah,
but he is. I believe he was a junior Olympian. Like he's got real crazy speed. And I believe I think there was like a weird thing with the combine where he was mistimed and like the clock kept running and like had him at a 4.4 when he's more of like a 4.2 kind of 4.3 guy, because everyone has been saying the speed is insane and like that he's probably faster than Velus.
Yeah.
So
I'm high.
If you can actually catch a ball, catch a pass, then he can be very dangerous because
I'm high on him. Like I don't think we should be expecting like crazy transcended Justin Jefferson year, obviously, right?
Fuck no.
But like if he could be like a very speedy fourth receiver that Velus could not be last year, I think that's huge. Yeah, even like maybe like catch a low floor 3. Yeah.
Yeah, if he catches 2 passes a game,
in the slot,
great. A lot of them are probably going to be deep balls. They're, that's his specialty. Or takes a drag route for 20 yards because he's so goddamn fast. Fuck it. Get the ball in his hands. He's got crazy speed.
Yeah, I'm very excited about him. But do any other picks stand out to you?
Well, I really like the Roshan Johnson pick personally.
Yep, that's another great one.
He looks to be a great pass blocker. He's a big back. He's like 6 foot, 220. He has nice quickness. He's pretty fast. I think he's faster than his like 40 time indicates. He was like I think he ran a 4.58 40, but he's got like good long speed. And in his tape, he has some pretty impressive like 70-yard touchdown runs where he's not getting caught from behind, so he does have that like second gear. I don't know how crazy his acceleration is, but he's a tough guy. I think he can he'll be able to catch passes, and I like that he sat behind Bijan, and he doesn't have a lot of mileage on him. I think he's still got a lot of tread left on the tires.
Yeah, I'm excited for him too. I think Darnell Wright will be a great pick, but that's obviously kind of obvious, and we're all hoping because he was the first round pick. But I think the pick that I'm just looking at right now that strikes off the page to me too is Tyreek Stevenson, just because I think Poles has had a pretty good history now, of cornerback pickups and just secondary pickups, obviously with Brisker last year. So I think that's another value pick that we could possibly see this year.
I've heard they've also been rotating like fifth round pick Terrell Smith, I believe is his name.
Yep.
He's also been
Yep.
getting some reps with the first team, and I've heard he's been pretty impressive as well. So, hey, if we have two, viable corners, that that makes Jalen Johnson a little more expendable. So who knows if he gets that contract then?
Yeah.
If we manage to hit on two corners in this draft, who knows what he gets? But he's been a very good player for us as well.
I think you and I both love Jalen. So
I really like Jalen Johnson. He's very tough, very physical, and I don't think he gets a lot of the respect that he deserves. Even that game he had against AJ Brown, like the stat line looks bad, but he played very well in that game.
Yeah. So I think all in all, I think it was a pretty solid draft. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any like finishing thoughts on any of the Bears' moves this offseason?
Not really. I'm just happy that we're moving in what I feel to be the right direction. The team, we're clawing our way out of the cellar. Hopefully, we bottomed out. I don't see how it can get any worse than that last year. So I like what Poles has done. I think he's been very measured. He hasn't made any like rash decisions, and I like this methodical approach that he's taking to try and build through the draft, put the emphasis on the draft, and then add finishing touches up through free agency. I think that's the approach that builds a real winner over time, unlike what Questy's doing over in fucking Minnesota land with the competitive rebuild. What a fucking joke that is. What an idiot.
Oh my god.
Competitive rebuild. That doesn't work. Everyone knows that.
Never.
It has never worked ever. Please stop and just tear it down and build the fucking team up. But they don't want to lose Justin Jefferson, so they're in a pickle.
Justin Jefferson,
he's not been signed yet as well.
Yeah. If you want to get out of there, I hear there's a team in Chicago that would love your services.
I'll take it anytime.
Oh my god, that would be awesome. I was hoping because there's been that rumor that he fucking hates Kirk Cousins for like 2 years.
Yeah, he really likes Justin Fields as well. Like there have been reports where he's like praised, called him dominant and all kinds.
I was hoping that like because we were all hoping they would get a receiver, because Diggs went to Buffalo and helped Josh Allen get better, and then that just happened. Or Hopkins went to Arizona get help Kyler get better. Did somebody else take a leap?
Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown.
Yep, that was the guy I was thinking of. Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. So we were all hoping to get that receiver that would help Fields take that leap, and it was like
Packers fans. You could have had Jalen Hurts.
You
drafted Jordan Love ahead of Jalen Hurts, so he better be good. That's your floor. That was the 2020 class was one of the greatest quarterback classes in recent memory.
Oh my god!
So
that's Herbert, that's Burrow, that's Tua, that's Hurts. Like those are great guys, and that's just the stars from that class.
Legit starters, and Jordan Love.
I could have had a litany of any of these guys. Well, I guess they couldn't have had Burrow, Tua, or Herbert, but they could have taken Jalen Hurts. Tyler Huntley was in that class too.
I wanted the Bears to draft Jalen Hurts because
me too. You and I both talked about it.
Going down the fucking tubes. I'm like, Nagy, please bang on the table for Hurts. He didn't because he's an idiot, but they got his Fields. So thanks, Nagy.
Yeah, we got Fields out of it, so you can't really. Never thought I'd be saying that, but thank you, Nagy.
Woo.
All right, so I think that's where we're going to end things. I had a couple more things to talk about, but we can save that for a later episode. Maybe our NFL storylines episode. We'll do some Bears specific storylines.
Sounds saucy. Tune in.
Yeah, that sounds real fun, man. But this was fun. Hopefully, we can do this once a week. Our schedules are pretty insane, so we'll have to find time to do it. But hopefully, working man. You're going to New Zealand. You're going to get lost in the Lord of the Rings sets.
I'm gonna go do that, But in the meantime, I'm bringing my fucking lunch pail to work because we're a couple of lunch pail guys. Chicago lunch pail guys. That's what we like,
dude.
In Chicago.
I like my PB&J. I like my paper.
Yes. Yes, I nailed my PB&J sandwich to toughen me up.
Yeah, I like bringing in my
shoulders.
Yeah, my PB&J and my newspaper, and I love talking about the Bears around the water cooler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think that's a great place to end this one. Thank you so much for everyone out there who's listening, if there are any of you listening to our little therapy session here.
Maybe 3 people, but it'll be cool.
We'll see. Like, it'll be like my mom, your mom, and then like one of our uncles will be like, "Damn, we made it."
I'll maybe watch 5 minutes and then turn it off because I can't stand listening to myself. It'll be great.
Dude, sick. All right, well, that's it. We will talk, soon. Please follow us at Podsters85 on Twitter. You can email us at podstersofthemidway@gmail.com if you have questions, or if you want to do business with us, we will take your money.
Yeah.
So
give us
you can
anyone. I don't care.
And Jake doesn't have any public social medias, but you can follow me at Droopy, DROOWPY on Twitter and Instagram if you so choose. I also have a YouTube. Again, there's 3 people listening to this, so I don't know how vital this is, but hey, you got to start somewhere, right, man?
Yeah, thanks for not tuning in, folks. I really appreciate it.
All right, this is a lot of fun, but we got to go cry about the Bears and act like everything is okay. I don't know.
Wake up at fucking 4:45 in the morning to make the biscuits. Let's go.
Make the biscuits.
Make the donuts. It's not the biscuits. It's the donuts. I'm stupid. I'm not educated.
Dude, Florida man over here.
Yes.
All right. Have a great one, everybody. See ya.
Goodbye, folks.